Hello, everyone. My computer fan is like super loud right now. Um, I hope you're all doing really well. I am excited to do this video with you guys today. Um, a couple of things while few more of you jump in here. Just a couple things. One, if you aren't following me on Telegram or Instagram, please do, because each of those accounts you'll get different information that I don't put here on YouTube. I'm putting out little shorter spiritual messages and clips on Instagram that sometimes don't always make it to Telegram, but then Telegram I'm able to do like messaging if I have a message to put out. So those two accounts, if you aren't yet, please do follow me there. Now, I was guided in the middle of the night this morning at like 3:30 in the morning. I got woken up and couldn't get back to sleep for hours, and my guides asked me to put this video out today in regards to the dream that I had the very night after I went and uploaded that video on the solar downloads, which is one of my more recent, I think it's just 2 videos ago. Like last Saturday I uploaded it. And they asked me to include 2 new meditations, to upload 2 new meditations to my website for you guys to have the option if you want to download in regards to what this video is about, for multiple reasons. And so if you're interested, I've left the links in the description below. These are 2 meditations that have come out of my alchemy program. And they are, the first one is an energetic open heart surgery to love again. And you'll understand why I put that one in here. And the other one is remembering the original blueprint of your DNA. Okay, so those actually relate to the topic that I'm going to be discussing today with you all. So if you're interested, you can get those off my website. Links are in the description below. And was there anything else? Oh yeah, if you're interested in joining Alchemy, please do. We've got our live call tomorrow night, and I'm going to be going into much more detail of some of the stuff I'm going to bring up today, and give you guys some extra help in how to shift frequencies, how to shift the timeline, and get into the future that is within your heart's desire. So, hello everyone. Hi, Carlos, the Bee Noctua Rising, Karena, Cormac, thank you for modding. Thank you. Expand Your Mind, Dangerous Curves, Magic Bird, Emma. All right, so future timelines, how to shift into them faster. So if you guys remember in my last video on the solar downloads, I talked about the need to get out into the sun, that the sun is kind of like a vault that holds our Akashic records right now. Like we've all agreed on that, to utilize it so that it can imprint us with more of our own memories from past lifetimes, not just on this planet, to help activate our DNA and turn on our gifts, but not just our gifts, but our power, remembering who we are. Remember, the more you remember who you are, the more empowered you are, the more sovereign you become. And you can realize that everything that you've learned in this whole system starts to break down. It doesn't have the same power over you. So after that video, I had a dream. And this dream was really not a dream. I don't know. You know how you kind of have some dreams, oh, those are dreams. And other ones are like, oh no, I was on a different timeline. And other ones are like, oh, I'm doing healing, or oh, that was inner child stuff. Or sometimes they're premonitions. You know, there's all different kinds of stuff. Higher self visits you. This one was unlike any other dream I've had before. So in this dream, I saw myself and someone else who I actually I didn't recognize from this lifetime. And we were needing to escape a certain timeline or location to go to another location or timeline. And I remember that there were things, how do I say this, activating within the DNA that were helping me remember how to do this. And so I watched myself. It's like I had this aerial view, or I was watching a movie of myself really leaning into the frequency of the location or wherever I was going in a timeline, to really kind of tune into what that location was and start to remember all of the feelings that it brought up in me that I remembered from being there. So for instance, let's just say, I've been to Italy several times. It's one of my favorite countries. It's so easy for me to like recall, being in Florence and sipping on a glass of wine or having a coffee in a piazza, or, and just really kind of feeling the essence. I remember walking through the cities, and you can recall that. So I started to, so much like you can recall one of your favorite places on earth, that you've been to, that you have memories of. I remember while I was watching myself in this dream, I'm leaning into the frequency, and I had my eyes closed, and I was concentrating so hard on moving into the frequency of the emotions that I was feeling, in order to get to this other location. Now, I believe in this dream, it was more about bilocation than what I'm talking about now, but they told me last night, or in the middle of the night, that to apply the mechanics to future timeline creation, and to tell you guys about this. So here's a strange thing. So as I get into the frequency so much, all of a sudden, boom, I'm gone from that location, and I manifest in the new location. But when I manifested in the new location, another version of myself, almost like a holding template, manifested in the place I just left. And I could see my friend, who wasn't leaving the location, noticing that a new one appeared. And then, so the same thing would happen where my friend would then do this, and I would watch her leave. And when she left, boom, she was gone. And within a couple of seconds, a new version of her would show up somewhere close by. And I remember seeing this girl who was wearing different clothes. Her hair was different, same person. And she manifested walking, and I saw her walking kind of like disoriented, like all of a sudden, like she thought she was walking somewhere else, and now she's in a whole brand new location. It was almost like we have this template or other version of ourselves that gets projected in there, that's like a holding one that comes from the other location that you're going to. It was so interesting. So anyway, that all being said, one of the reasons why they want me to talk about this now is because of the Mars and Venus conjunction coming up next week. On the 13th through the 17th, Mars and Venus will be traveling together for about 3 to 4 days. And this conjunction is very unique in the sense that, well, first, it hasn't happened since July of 2019. So it's been 2 years since these two planets have come together and had a conversation. Mars and Venus are the representation of our divine masculine, divine feminine energies. And the reason why it's kind of special is because of the rarity of them both just recently having a conversation, with first squaring with Saturn and then squaring with Uranus at the beginning of this month. So, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more. So the reason why I'm going to go over this is because it applies to your future timeline creation and how to manipulate this into a faster, to shift into the timeline that you want faster. Okay. So if you guys remember, they also want me to remind you all that I did a video back in April. I believe it was April, or was it early May? I'm not sure, but it was called The Warrior and the Lover. Okay, so just go back and look through the videos if you missed it or you need a refresher, because it's important information. It applies to this Mars and Venus conjunction as well as the timeline shifting. And it's why I also put up the meditations that I did for you guys to help you. So Remember that the warrior and the lover, okay, the warrior represents the Mars, the planet of war, but also the divine masculine. But we're talking about the warrior from an empowered place, a healed place, a sovereign place, not a warrior who it comes from the wounded place, okay? And then we have the lover, which is Venus, the divine feminine, okay? And I was told through messaging from this came from my guides, the blue beings with the black mohawk hair, okay, that I talked about in that video, that the warrior and the lover is the full expression of your authentic divine blueprint, okay? So how you're going to shift faster into your timeline is, one, you need to lean into that frequency of your desired future. So when you think about your desired future, what does it feel like to you? When you really think about it, if it's, hopefully you're choosing a future, if it's desired, it's one that makes you feel good, okay? Whether it's something that has, maybe it's a new job, maybe it's a new location, maybe it's a new relationship, or a relationship that goes to another level, or whatever it might be for you, okay? Whatever that future desire is, really tune into the frequencies that you start to feel in your heart when you're there. Put yourself in the future. Talk to your future self and put yourself there and start to feel everything. Look around, touch the surroundings, feel the textures, really get up close and personal with this future desired. Like what it actually looks like in your timeline. And you've got to lean into that. You've really, really got to lean into it. You've got to be in a place where you're getting so familiar that you're becoming it. Okay? You need to become it. So what does it feel like? What are the emotions? Okay? And then know that the more you create from this frequency, so the whole point of this is you've really got to get familiar with that frequency so that you can then take that frequency and start channeling it into this present moment in time. Start channeling it into your actions. Start channeling it into your words, how you're showing up right now. Because every moment in this reality of this particular timeline is an opportunity to transition into that future timeline by holding that future frequency now, in this now moment. Okay, so now let's go back to the Mars and Venus conjunction. Okay, now they first had a conversation with Saturn. I believe Mars had a conversation with Saturn on the 1st, 2nd of July, and Venus, I think it was like the 4th, 5th. And then they moved forward into Uranus. And then Mars had a conversation with Uranus on the 4th, 5th, and Venus just yesterday and on the 8th, so the 8th, 9th. Okay, now, Saturn is the planet of divine timing. It's also considered the planet called Father Time, right? And it's also the planet that is utilized to help take us through our lessons so we gain more wisdom. Now it's in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is about our future, right? It's about our innovation. It's how we evolve. It's about how we liberate ourselves from old, outdated patterns. So Mars and Venus individually just had a conversation with Saturn in a way that was, it's a tough alignment, right? Because it's a square, but it's having important conversations that downloads wisdom so that you know how to move into your future with a new and more evolved perspective that comes from your higher self. Remember, Aquarian energy is about aligning with the higher self. It's about tuning into the higher self and letting that channel through you for your future. And I'm going to go, again, for all of you guys in alchemy, I'm going to go way more into this on tomorrow. But now the other one was with Uranus. Now, Uranus is the planet of liberation. It rules Aquarius, but Uranus is the liberator from old patterns. It's also a reprogrammer. So what happened is Mars and Venus just got reprogrammed through this Uranus conjunction, okay, about aligning with what does Taurus represent? Our values, our resources. And a lot of what's been happening this year is about getting us in tune with the newer version of ourselves that's wanting to step into this current now, that is actually a more evolved person already living in your future timeline, who's happier, who's more healed, okay? And being able to take action from that place. Mars is the planet of action and desire and inspiration to want to show up in the world in a new way. So all of these things are kind of coming up, and these two planets just had a conversation, and now they're coming together. And the divine masculine and the divine feminine are going to come together for 3 or 4 days, and they're going to have this conversation about the future, about finally like moving forward in new ways, because it's their first time meeting up now in 2 years. So think back to July 2019, okay, of what may have been happening beginning of July. I think it was July 5th, around there, they had their conjunction. And think about what was happening in your life then. What was coming up for healing? What was coming up for you in your awareness? And what's wanting to be channeled now into your future? Because this whole year is dominated by the Saturn-Uranus square. Okay, we just had the big one, the second major one in June, middle of June, June 10th. We're still feeling the effects. We're going to feel the effects for another month into mid-August. We'll get a little reprieve, and then we're going to go right back into it because it happens at the end of December again. So, and this is all about gaining wisdom, liberation, evolving yourself, looking into your future. What does your future need to look like right now that you don't have in this current moment? So, the Mars and Venus conjunction is offering an assistance to us this month to help us shift into those future timelines at a faster rate. On top of, I'm jumping ahead of myself. And this will help create more permanence for you going forward. The reason why this is going to help you create more permanence, and that kind of depends on your own choice to heal yourself. Meaning, if you've been doing your work, if you've been going into your shadow work and showing up and getting into your healing, and you're familiar with this on a relationship basis. Remember, Mars and Venus coming together talks about our relationships. First, it talks about relationship with self. Okay, so your masculine and feminine aspects of self. It then also talks about more so your intimate partner relationships, but not only, also your friendship and your familial relationships. It talks about all kinds of different relationships. And how have you been healing yourself to perhaps show up differently in relationships, recreate boundaries that maybe not have been there before, to help define the space that you need in order to be supported in the new version of you that wants to step out onto this path, into this timeline, to be the better version of yourself that's going to honor the mission, exude from the heart, okay, and show up in your full potential. So this is all happening in the sign of Leo. Mars and Venus are in the sign of Leo right now, and this is really beautiful because Leo represents the heart chakra. Hence why I was guided to put the meditation out for you guys, the energetic open heart surgery to love again, because your heart needs to be free right now. Your heart is essential in shifting frequencies so fast. This is your emotional center. This is what charges everything. The heart is everything in the human experience when it comes to being able to utilize your DNA technology to its fullest extent. And so we are actually getting heart activations from this Leo Mars Venus conjunction. We're getting some heart activations that are happening here, which will amplify your ability to shift into these timelines faster. So again, if you've done the healing work, this is a really good opportunity for you to really kind of take stock of the journey up until this date, up until this point, really look at some of the shifts and changes from who you were. Maybe it was just 6 months ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, maybe it was 10 years ago, but really just kind of look at how you've really shifted and changed, how you used to show up in relationship, first with self, then with others. And what are you really wanting to reprogram yourself with? Because remember, Uranus is reprogramming Mars and Venus to come together in relationship in a way that amplifies that heart, right? If it's in the sign of Leo, that's the inner child. It's all about joy. It's about joyful expression. It's about inspiration. It's about heart activation. And it's also bringing us an opportunity to show up in relationship again from the warrior and the lover within us. The warrior having that strength, okay, that strength of authority. But then this new moon that we just had in Cancer yesterday, okay, or last night, giving us an opportunity to show up in our authority in a softer way that honors the divine feminine energy, okay? So again, I'll be going into all of this in more detail tomorrow, but this is kind of the message that I was guided to give out today for all of you. So check in with yourself from the side of your masculine that wants to be empowered and take action from a place that is a warrior of love. Okay, to be inspired, to want to laugh, to be a little bit more lighthearted, to not take things so seriously. Again, this message keeps coming up in my meditations that it is now time for us to lighten the heart. We've been so serious since the start of March 2020 when everything started happening. There's been so much going on, and it's time to really lighten the frequencies up, get more joyful. This is the perfect time. We're heading into Leo season shortly with the sun shifting on, I think it's the 22nd. And this is all about the inner child coming out to play. This is about really, and there is nothing more powerful than utilizing your inner child to quantum heal and quantum leap you into your desired reality. So, utilizing all of these beautiful Leo energies, okay, that are, what does Leo represent? It's about self. It's about feeling good about yourself. It's about wanting to have the sunlight shine on you. It's about feeling good in your light. It's about wanting to shine your light on the world. And there's a proudness there, right? The lion is very proud. Remember, we're also coming up to the Lionsgate portal soon, which opens on the 26th of July, right? That portal starts to open on the 26th of July. This is a very powerful time right now to start your creations, okay? So in general, if you want to shift your timeline faster, you've really got to go into that feeling. You've got to know it. You've got to know it in your heart. You've got to be so up close and personal with that frequency. You can touch it. You can smell it. You can hear it. Everything that you can do with that frequency, you need to utilize it and bring it into this now moment in everything that you can possibly do when you're conscious of doing it. Okay. But on top of that, right now, specifically right now, there is so much power available to us to help us shift into a more desired timeline. Okay. So I hope that this information is helpful for you. I'm going to say that if you do decide to get the meditations, my meditations are a little different than your regular meditations. I know you guys in alchemy know this. I am very particular about the music that I choose. I also like to, the reason why is because I like the music to be uplifting. These two meditations that I've put out, they're not relaxing meditations, although the open heart surgery has relaxing components to it. It's about when I say manipulating your energy field and your frequency, I don't mean that from a bad way. I mean that from the most pure intentional way of connecting you with your heart frequency, of connecting you with your higher self. Okay, and helping those merge in together. And so just know that when if you do decide to get the downloads, they're a little different. I will say that I was re-listening to the open heart surgery one right before I went live, because I wanted that energy to channel through me while I did this. And it even brought me to tears. Like, it starts to well up emotions in me. For you guys in alchemy, you know that my last months did that for me. The music I chose, there's something activating about it, and I choose that on purpose, and I time it with the wording very specifically. So I hope you guys enjoy them. I have no pictures on my website yet for those meditations, because my guys are like, just get them up there. Don't worry about the thumbnails just yet. You can do that after. I'm like, all right. Trying not to be all perfect and have everything all ordered. So the links are there. You can download them. There's just no album covers on them yet. So I apologize for that, but they will be up there in a little bit. So are there any questions in the live chat that I missed? And Karena, thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Oh, Dusty, thank you so much. Nicole's gift for creating meditations is incredible. Thank you so much, sweetie. James Robert, everything about you is a little bit different. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Let me see. Does anyone have any questions? If you do, just type in the word question so I can see it. Oh, does this add momentum to Lionsgate portal, Beth going? Yeah, so I kind of answered that already, but and I think that question probably came in before I answered it. So yes, it will help prep you for the Lionsgate. Remember, the Lionsgate is very dominating of the heart chakra. Also, though, this is about the solar plexus, because we're talking about the lion, right? It's the sun, and the sun dominates the solar plexus. And so I am also seeing that there's like this connection, a very strong bridge between the heart chakra and solar plexus is going to be created through here, even stronger than what you already have. Detox with Tessa, Wise Mama Bear, Keystone Channel. So glad to see you guys here. UFO Mark, thank you. Let's see here. Okay, can you, Cormac, can you show us your nails? Okay, so I just got my nails done by my girlfriend Alyssa, and we did this crazy thing, and we didn't even realize what we were doing, and then it kind of came to me that, so these are my first nails. I don't know if you guys can, I don't know if it's gonna show because of the zoom, but anyways, these were kind of like solar downloads. They've got a solar download kind of feel to it. And then these ones are more green, but you can't really see them. And I said these were like more of like the earth, like grounding the solar downloads through my right hand on my green, like the green nails, and putting them into the earth. So it was just interesting. Let me see here. Okay, question. How about Reiki healing? How does it help on this subject? Well, if you're doing Reiki and you've got any energy blocks, you can open up certain chakras. That will always help with your energy movement, especially Reiki around the heart chakra, the solar plexus. But please, guys, always make sure that your root chakra is open, because if you're not able to ground your energy, you're not able to move the energies into your body, you're not able to ground them into the earth. And that is one of our sole purposes of being here in this body, is to be doing that. So make sure that you do that. Will there be space cars? Well, there's already space buses, apparently. Okay, Beth going, is this calling us a step up before September when energies pick up? This feels like a kick in the pants. You know what? It's interesting you say that, Beth, because I've been getting, I've been getting that there's a portal in later in September opening up, but I don't know. I've just gotten a really loose download about it. It's nothing crazy yet. So anything that you're doing now will always help prep for the future. So if there's the portal here on August 8th, the height of it, starting on the 26th of July, closing I think on the 12th of August. And then you've got about a 6-week reprieve until I feel like this next portal, like last half, later part of September is opening. But again, I don't have enough information to give you guys right now, just that's come in very briefly. Okay, so guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys are wonderful. And for all of you guys in alchemy, I'll see you tomorrow, new time, 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll start the live call. And again, guys, if you need any assistance in your own journey, whether it's reading, coaching, inner child healing, I'd be more than happy to work with you. All the links for that in the description below. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. And I'll be back with you guys later on this week.